tyres. Now, unless you've gone very sideways, they should be the only thing that are touching the ground, I hope. But sadly, they're a consumable. They wear out, they break, they perish, and you know, they get put through a pretty hard life. So today, don't worry, we're going to be looking at a few sort of signs, a few telltales, if you like, that it might be time to change out your tyres. First things first, and an obvious sign that it's time to switch out that old tyre is that tread is going to be a little thin on the ground. But to show you this, I'm going to need a tyre. Just like this one here. Now, what you can see is the fact that all the knobs on it, they're really low down. They're blooming almost gone. It's basically a semi-slick tyre. Not only that, but all the side knobs, well, they're tearing off. They're cracked, they're peeling. So in the corners, you're not going to have any grip either. Now you can see the old version of this tyre, or the worn version if you like, compared to the brand spanking new one here. All the siping on these top and side knobs have gone as well, and what that does is that gives you the grip and the traction. It helps mould and conform to the ground to give you ultimate gripping power. With all that gone, well, basically you're just running a round piece of rubber, and that's not very grippy at all. If your tyre does look a little something like this and you're a big fan of the old skid game, then it's probably time to replace it if it's almost through to the carcass. Also, if you've been a bit heavy-handed on the grinder, no, not the app, then it's also time to swap out that tyre for a new one. Shrouding's fun, but it can cause you to lose your knobs. On the side of the tyre, of course. Hitting turns left and right really hard over and over, or really rocky, tough ground is going to cause the side knobs on the tyre to break away and almost snap off completely, meaning that in turns you're going to have no grip whatsoever. So if you find yourself blowing out turns, washing out a lot, or just not being able to hold a line very well, well, this could also be a sign that it's time to change the tyres. You know you've had your tyres way too long when they're starting to crack. Now this can happen on the top of the tyre, but most commonly will happen on the sidewall, much like my garden wall here. This is a big problem, especially if they're tubeless tyres, because they're going to start leaking air annoyingly. Another reason for this cracking happening is exposure to sunlight. Yes, too much vitamin D. Your over-tanned tyres have basically just dried out and shriveled up and can't take it anymore. So that is a clear sign that it's time to switch them out. Obviously, if you live in a lovely, hot, sunny country where this does happen, I'll be honest, I'm slightly jealous. Do you know what also happens to tyres? They tear. It's really annoying when that happens, because it generally means a tyre then becomes a write-off, much like this one. Ain't no amount of fixing. Even Doddy's stitching video, I don't think it's going to get this bad boy back together. But yeah, if you do unfortunately get hit by that sniper rock out on the trail and you slice your tyre open, it can be fixed. I've even done a video about it myself, fixing tyre slashes over on the tech channel, but it's more of a temporary solution. It means that it might get you home, it might get you a few more rides out of it, but in the long run, you are probably still going to need to replace that tyre. Probably like this one. Doddy, I'm going to need that needle and thread, I think, mate. Finally then, the last point. Do you know what? Your tyres are actually in good nick. You don't think they need changing. They're not broken, they're not sliced, they're not worn out. You haven't taken a grinder to them, and that is a good thing. But you're not getting the traction that you think you should be with the right tyre, and that's my next point. This is where you might need to swap out that tyre. This is where choosing the right one comes into play. Now, I've got two different tyres here, very different applications for both. The Mazda on my left here, very much an aggressive enduro style tyre. The Agaro on my right, a fast rolling summer tyre, tightly knit sort of tread pattern. So different applications. If I was to use this Agaro in the mud, well, I'm going to be sliding everywhere. So I might want to think about swapping to something with that bigger, knobblier, aggressive tread pattern like this Mazda here, or its equivalent, shall we say. So that's my next point. Have a think about what you're riding the most, where you ride, and really choose the right tyre for what your conditions are. You've chosen the right tyre then for the conditions that you ride the most and the style of riding that you do, but also think about the type of bike or the fitting inside of the bike you've got as well. Neither of these tyres would fit on my cross-country hardtail, say. They're just too big and they're too knobbly. They're not the right kind of tyre for it. So pairing up that right tyre for the right riding type, the bike, is also worth thinking about when you are choosing that next set of hoops. There you have it then, some definitive signs that it might be time that you need to swap out, well, your old tyre for a nice spangly new one to get the best out of your bike. Now, thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been a lovely time making this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Let me know what the state of your tyres is at the moment, maybe. I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy riding, and I'll catch you later.